Get ready to shop Lowe's Black Friday Doorbuster deals to save $150 on a 30-inch Blackstone griddle, now $299. Plus, choose a Whirlpool top-load washer or Midea top freezer refrigerator for just $398. These limited-time Doorbuster deals go fast, so get holiday ready today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid 11/28 through 12/1. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Okay, so I wandered over to Brian Rust. Welcome back to the podcast for those of you listening to just the audio. And, I kind of said, guys who were first-round picks, they get endless opportunities. But, everybody else sort of has to fight for it. What's that situation like when you're trying to fight your way into the NHL lineup? Maybe you're not a favorite, or all of those sorts of things that he had to overcome. And he knew exactly what I was talking about, and he kind of it doesn't matter what opportunity you're given, you have to seize that opportunity. If you're only going to play 5 minutes, then you play as hard as you can those 5 minutes. Play like your hair is on fire. And I've always remembered that quote, "Play like your hair is on fire," because really only Kindle has played like his hair is on fire. I think it would be unfair to put Tristan Broz in that category because he got one game. And I thought he did play like his hair was on fire in the preseason. But I can't say that of the other players like Koivunen with 2 assists in 13 or 14 games. Who else? I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of players because they've all kind of up and down. But 9 of them, 3 of them were, 2 of them. Yeah, 2 of them were in fact goalies. And so this is what it looks like, and this is what the organization has to help the players to do, is to go down to Wilkes-Barre, put those pieces of the puzzle together, figure out how to play your best game when you're not all hopped up on adrenaline. After the adrenaline wears off, you still have to play 75 more games. How do you do that? And here's another, maybe the dark side of the youth movements, he tried to say. Half of these guys, statistically speaking, half of these guys are going to wash out. Isn't that amazing? We're watching them at the beginning. It's kind of fun. There's tons of optimism and hope, and the sky is the limit. Statistically speaking, of these 10 rookies who have played this season, 5, somewhere between 4 and 6, somewhere 4, 5, or 6, are going to not make an impact, be banished to the minors, struggle, and hang it up at 30 or 32, being that close to their NHL dreams or sticking in the NHL long term. That's kind of a scary thought, isn't it? You start to wonder which of the Penguins' prospects might be that guy. I actually thought Sam Poulin. Sam Poulin was headed down that road. He has turned it around. I was really disappointed to see him only get a couple of games. I thought he had more to offer. So that's topic 1. Let's get into subset topic 2, and that is Tristan Broz. I don't understand it. I didn't get it when they sent him down on Sunday, because if they wanted someone to give Ben Kindle a spell, Sam Poulin could have slid to center, no problem. Tommy Novak could slide to center, no problem. Kevin Hayes could do it. So I was like you, was scratching my head on exactly, especially after all of the hoopla, sort of the attention and all of that Broz had making his NHL debut. Dan Muse flat out said the practice the day before that Broz would be in the lineup. So what that was about was it very curious. I wonder if Broz knew that it was a very short call-up, or what the conversation was. I don't know that I'll be able to get that out of Dan Muse Monday morning at the morning skate. I don't know if we'll be able to kind of pick his brain on that, or if I'll be able to bump into somebody else in the hallway and sort of find out. Broz was solid in his first game. I mean, he had that mistake that became Buffalo's first goal. Not ideal. He tried to do too much. It happens. His was a mistake of effort, not of lack of effort. So those are usually fairly forgivable, as long as you learn from them. Now, Rutger McGroarty is a whole different sort of beast here. Topic 3, Rutger McGroarty, the McGroarty Watch. Day 7, day 10. We need to do like one of those dramatic things, like 15 years ago, like conservative talk radio would do those big dramatic things. Day 230 of the Obama presidency, or day 50 of radio used to be wild back in the day when I was doing it. Anywho, Rutger McGroarty, where does he fit with the Penguins? He clearly is needed. There was an absolute balloon-popping, bubble-bursting feeling to the Penguins' loss on Saturday. I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs just took them to the woodshed. 7-2, the final score. And it continues this downward Penguins trend. I mean, honestly, I've done this show now like 10 times, so I forget what I've said before, and they're all sort of blurring together. I don't know if I'm repeating myself here, but I think you and I, and probably even the Penguins, thought that there was going to be a certain level of proficiency going forward. They rebounded from some ugly hockey, get the 3 points in Sweden, and the arrow is pointing upward. But if you look at the month as a whole, the thing they have lacked is offense. I mean, if you have enough offense, you can overcome these ghastly defensive mistakes that they're making. And they are ghastly, god-awful. I mean, you can try to win every game 2-1, or you can finish the plethora of chances. A plethora? A plethora of chances that the Penguins have been acquiring and earning and so forth. The lines have just not been put together. I mean, there isn't enough talent to go around. And so McGroarty will be like an immediate upgrade. I don't think he had much chemistry with Sidney Crosby. I mean, think back to the end of last year. He played 3 games in the beginning. That clearly had to end, so they send him down for most of the season. He comes back at end of the year. He plays the first couple of few games with Crosby. It's not going great. Koivunen with Malkin, Koivunen's playing okay, pretty well. He's getting some points. They flip, and Koivunen plays with Crosby. And McGroarty goes down with Malkin. Success, like immediate chemistry and success. I don't know if McGroarty's addition eventually will allow Muse to maybe put Mantha up on Crosby's line while Raquel still heals. I don't know how all of that shakes out. What I do know is that the Penguins need to improve their top 9 significantly. Just significantly. I will repeat this. I think I've said this in the past. I really do think now would be the time to go with Malkin, Crosby, and Rust as your top line. Just load it up. If you're not getting any offense from your bottom 9, load up the top 3. Just fire all of your guns at once. Explode into space. Put Ben Kindle as your second line center. Now put that kid with some talent. I mean, he's done the yeoman's work, right? He's played really well. It's never him, the guy, who's making the mistakes or is on the short end of the stick. He's always the guy doing the right thing. Well, let's put him with some talent. Maybe that's Anthony Mantha and Rutger McGroarty. See how it goes. And then your third line can be Tristan Broz with Ville Koivunen, who, and I don't know. I don't know if there's room for Sam Poulin to come back up or if it would have to be Tommy Novak. And of course, your fourth line is your fourth line. Although this week, I suppose Justin Brazeau is just about ready to return. I expect to see Brazeau maybe a full participant Monday morning at the morning skate. Could be. It would be the fourth week. It would be right on schedule. And we'll see if he can resume his pre-injury play. I would suspect he needs to take full contact and some practices. That's a lot of time to miss and to just be chucked right back into the deep end of the water. But you get where I'm going with the idea of really fortifying the top three and then the top nine. I do think there has to be, McGroarty can really help with that. And I don't know that everyone sort of knows exactly what kind of game he plays. I still think people assume Rutger McGroarty is a scoring winger. And there's so much more to it than that. In fact, I wouldn't even call him a scoring winger at all. In terms of his offense, he's more of a playmaker. Remarkably polished game in all three zones. He plays a really good defense. He's stocky and heavy enough to do some of the heavy lifting in the defensive zone and the offensive zone. He's got good eyes and vision. So he puts it all together very well in a polished package. So that's just about everything on this no pucks given. I think I've hit everything. Oh, no, we haven't gotten to Kyle Dubas yet. See, I'm trying to end it. The three-pronged Kyle Dubas. See, this is me forgetting we haven't talked about this on this show that you're going to hear Monday morning. Because I've already done this segment like 5 times. All right, let's talk about Kyle Dubas now and his decisions. Because, look, when the Penguins were sort of winning at 600 and, in third place, top wild card, it had to be hugely tempting for Dubas to look around to see what he could add to further this, the good feelings and the success.
Holiday doorbuster deals are on at Lowe's. Today only, get select 1-quart poinsettias and select translucent plant saucers for $1 each. That means for a limited time, you can decorate to get in the Christmas spirit for less. Shop in-store to make sure you don't miss out on big savings all day. But hurry, these offers won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 11/28, in-store only, limit 16 per person. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
But now, a week, 2 weeks later, it's not looking so good. There really is a pall over the Penguins right now. That crashing back to earth, I don't know if it's quite that bad, but it certainly was bubble bursting. Like they're not a playoff team. Like they're not that good, but they're still not that bad. So that puts Dubas kind of in the middle of 3 options. He can nibble on the NHL trade market, right? He can pick around. He can add things he think might, maybe a middle 6 winger, perhaps. Maybe a left winger. I'm just tossing it out there. He can also stand pat. I think that was the plan from the beginning, was to completely just stand pat. Let the team rise, let the team fall, based purely on its own merits. He did his job in the offseason, and that's as much as he was going to do. The other option, the third one, would be to sort of accelerate this fall and trade away pieces. I mean, just imagine if the Penguins traded away Tristan Jarry to Edmonton. Let's just say that, a lot of this chatter is, there's real fire to the smoke. And now you've got Artur Shilovs and Sergei Murashov. I think that would accelerate the struggles. Let's put a positive spin on that. That would be accelerating the rebuild. I mean, Murashov was good, not great, in a couple of his starts. So those are kind of the three things that Dubas is looking at, which is, I think, different than just 2 weeks ago when we're talking about adding to, just a little bit of rocket fuel, just a little bit, just a little bit of gasoline to set it in motion. I know it's always easier, much easier said than done. And you know what? Maybe a little bonus here, since I've got some time. We can talk about Arturs Shilovs, a rookie. 1 win in his last 8 appearances. What is he? 1-4-3 or 1-3-4? 1-4-3. I'm pretty sure that's it. Without it in front of me. I'm going off the cuff on these podcasts. And after doing this 10 times, yes, you can hear my voice is wearing a little bit thin. Hopefully, this giant suite that they've got me in here in Philadelphia, I'm actually curled up on the couch. It's kind of nice. Got the work area, unfortunately, had this big wooden divider that created an echo, and I couldn't do it over there where I wanted to. So, I'm just doing it on the couch. Shilovs, talking to him in preseason, he was probably a little bit too forthcoming. And basically, the gist of what he said was that sometimes, he would struggle really bringing his A game, really zoning in and paying attention and being on point. And you saw that. In the playoffs, great. Comes back the next season, not so great. First month of this season, adrenaline, great. After the adrenaline wears off, not so great. And I suppose that's part of the runway that Kyle Dubas was offering Shilovs. The chance to figure it out, to find his level, to understand how to bring his best even without, the adrenaline. But would Dubas do something that would make his team worse? Isn't that funny? Can you imagine a year ago that everyone would agree that trading Tristan Jarry would lessen the Penguins? They'd be less of a team the day after, most likely. That Tristan Jarry is their best goaltender right now. Listen, I don't bust your cojones too often, but the number of people now on the Tristan Jarry bandwagon who were absolutely flambeing him last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. And I'm stuck in a loop here. But you get what I'm saying. There are people like, oh yeah, I've always been a fan of Tristan Jarry. He's close to reaching that moment here with his performances this season, where everybody was on his side now. Although there are a few of you obstinate ones out there who still won't give him an ounce of credit. But what would you do? Would you? Oh, actually, I know what you would do. That's why I'm in this chair or this job, because I know exactly what you do. You guys would sell. You would get all the shiny new toys that you could get, and then get bored. Okay, we're rebuilding. Okay, now we have to wait for all these seeds to grow. But that's exactly kind of the position that Kyle Dubas finds himself in. So I want to thank producer, engineer Scott. I want to thank all of you. Like, subscribe, download, share it around, comment, and do all of that sort of fun stuff. That is it for me in Philadelphia. I think I actually finished this show. And let me tell you about this crazy road trip we're on, because the Penguins, every year when there's a Florida trip with days off in between, they fly down to Florida right away. They take the day off, the first day. They practice down there, and then they play. Well, they're not doing that this year with Tampa on the schedule for, Wednesday or Thursday? But I, assuming they would do that, booked ahead, and it would have cost me $400-500 not to fly to Tampa on Tuesday. I just was no, just cancel that leg of the flight. They're like, oh, well, that's going to cost you as well. To not fly with you is going to cost me. It was. So I'm actually going to Tampa on Tuesday. I'll be working, but it'd be nice to think I'm going to have a day off, which also probably means that's the day they're going to make a trade or call up Rutger McGroarty if I choose to take a day off. All right, kids, I appreciate you. Have fun, and we will talk soon.
At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.